In 2008, the world witnessed one of the most haunting performances in cinema history. Heath Ledger became the Joker. He isolated himself for weeks, wrote a journal as if he were the character, slept barely 2 hours a night, and admitted the role was intense, dark, impossible to simply shed. Heath didn't pretend to be the Joker. He embodied him, and he carried the chaos of that character inside himself, as if, at some point, the line between actor and role had completely dissolved. But what if this doesn't only happen to great actors? What if you are also performing, without even realizing it? Maybe not as a villain, but as the rejected one, the limited one, the invisible one, the wronged one, the character you learned to play so well that you forgot it was just a role. Today, we're pulling back the curtains of your inner theater to reveal the 3 layers of your mind: the conscious, what you think you know; the subconscious, the hidden director pulling the strings; and the divine spark, the immortal awareness silently watching, waiting for you to remember who you are, beyond it all.
It's not about money. It's about sending a message.
Imagine an actor who has played a character for so long that he's forgotten he was ever acting. He wakes up, puts on the costume, speaks the lines, reacts exactly as the script demands, and he truly believes that's who he is. Now, take a deep breath, because maybe that actor is you. The conscious mind, what you call I, is in truth a carefully crafted character built throughout your life. It has a name, one that was given to you. It carries an ID, a profession, a signature on a contract. It says, I'm a parent, a doctor, an engineer. I'm shy, anxious, confident, unworthy. But it rarely asks, who was I before they told me who I am? Carl Jung would call this the ego, the social I, the constructed identity. Here we'll call it the conscious mind, the character you believe yourself to be. It chooses the clothes you wear, decides the flavor of your coffee, plans, judges, compares, reacts. But all of it happens inside a script it didn't write. The ego is not evil, it's functional. But the problem begins when you forget it's only a role, and you start believing the character is you. Hermes Trismegistus wrote in the Corpus Hermeticum, "You are not the name, nor the body, nor the condition. You are the eternal spirit hidden behind form, which remembers if you choose to see with the eyes of the mind." The ego, the conscious mind, is the character. But you are not the character. You are the actor, the divine spark who agreed to live this experience in order to grow. The character might want to change the movie, but it doesn't have access to the script. Only the actor, the divine spark, does. And it's the actor who can request a new scene, because it's in contact with the director. And in Hermeticism, that director is the all, the supreme mind, the cause of all causes. While the character believes it's all that exists, life keeps repeating the same lines, the same acts, the same endings. Even neuroscience confirms this illusion. The conscious mind processes about 40 bits of information per second. The subconscious, the personal unconscious Jung described, processes over 11 million. It controls your emotions, your automatic decisions, even your vibrational frequency. So what happens when the character tries to change the movie, but the hidden script stays the same? It suffers. It gets frustrated. It feels sabotaged, because the character can't touch the script. It's trapped inside it. The truth is this: you are not the character. You're the actor. You are not your thoughts. You're the one observing them. You are the divine spark who chose to play this role in the theater called life. But if the character can't access the real script, who's truly in control of your story? Before we open that next layer, take a moment to support this journey. If this message is already stirring something inside you, like this video and subscribe. You're not just telling the algorithm, you're telling the universe, I'm ready to go deeper. Imagine a character who starts to feel uneasy about their own story. They live the same scenes again and again, similar relationships, familiar frustrations, predictable endings. One day, they rebel and decide, this time I'm changing everything. But no matter how hard they try, the same scenes keep playing out. Nothing really changes. What this character hasn't realized is they don't have access to the real script because they're the conscious mind, the role. And who writes the lines, the encounters, the conflicts, is the subconscious, the hidden playwright working behind the curtain. The subconscious is the part of your mind that holds all your emotional memories, your traumas, beliefs, loops, and the truths you absorbed without questioning. It controls 95% of your life, without the character ever noticing. The subconscious doesn't reason, it doesn't judge, it simply repeats what's been recorded. Most of your thoughts weren't even chosen by you. They just became the storyline of your life. And here's the deepest part. Many of those programs don't even belong to you. They were planted by family, school, religion, media, society. And you didn't even notice. Hermes Trismegistus warned of this thousands of years ago in the Corpus Hermeticum. Most live in illusion, believing themselves free, while asleep, repeating what has been imposed upon their soul. The subconscious is like a ghostwriter. It scripts your life based on everything you've absorbed, even the things you disagreed with. And until you review this hidden script, life remains a theater of endless repetitions. In Jungian psychology, this is the personal unconscious, the hidden reservoir of fears, traumas, shame, and repressed desires. They don't disappear. They act from behind the curtain. And deeper still lies the collective unconscious, the vast symbolic library of humanity. There dwell the archetypes, invisible molds that shape every character. Archetypes are the universal roles in the human drama: the hero, the villain, the victim, the savior, the sage, the betrayer, the sidekick. You see them in films, ads, campaigns, speeches, because that's how human minds are programmed. Advertising, religion, politics, and social media all activate archetypes to steer behavior. And if the actor, the divine spark, is asleep, the character automatically slips into these roles. You see the hero and feel inspired, the savior and surrender, the villain and project your rage, the victim and weep, or identify. The sidekick and feel your part is too small to change the story. The real danger is when you become one without even knowing. You act, feel, and attract as if you were that archetype, even if your divine spark longs to write a different story. Most people are unconsciously trapped in the archetype of the victim. There's no way out. Life is just like this. Nothing ever works for me. The world is unfair. Even if they never say these words out loud, they vibrate this truth constantly, because the script has already been written and stored in the subconscious. Science confirms it. The subconscious controls your heartbeat, your breathing, your posture, but also your financial choices, your relationship patterns, and your sense of identity. It filters reality through the beliefs it holds, and as long as the script stays the same, the character will keep living the same drama, just with different actors. But there is a part of you that is not the character. There is something within that simply observes, something that knows it's inside a theater and can rise, step off the stage, and rewrite everything. That part is the spark, and it remembers who you are, even when you forget. Imagine for a moment that behind the character, behind the script, there's an experienced actor who has played many roles before, but never confuses himself with any of them. He knows this is just a temporary play, and he stepped onto this stage for a much greater purpose. That actor is the spark, pure consciousness, the silent witness that watches without judgment, waiting patiently for the character to remember who's behind the scene. The spark is your true self, existing long before the name, the body, the story. As written in the Corpus Hermeticum, withdraw from the illusion of the senses and turn your gaze inward. There you will find what you have been from the beginning: mind, light, and spirit. The spark doesn't react. It witnesses. It doesn't cling to the roles because it knows all of them are temporary. It's the only part of you that can truly change the script because it is directly connected to the director of the play, the All. The Kybalion states, "He who understands that the All is mind is well advanced upon the path." And this All, this universal mind, can only be accessed through pure awareness, the divine spark, your real I, not through the character, not through the ego. In Jungian psychology, the divine spark aligns with the self, the center of the entire psyche. It is not a role, nor a function. It is the source. The self observes the ego, the conscious mind, and the contents of the unconscious, but identifies with none of them. The spark is the only part of you that can stop everything and say, "This role no longer defines me." And it can rewrite the story, not by force, but through pure presence. Because it doesn't need to shout, it doesn't need to control. It remembers it's part of the All. As Hermes Trismegistus said, "The All is in all things, and all things are in the All." Your spark knows it is never separate from the All. It knows it doesn't need to beg or struggle, because it can co-create with the universal mind. And now, you will remember how to step out of the autopilot and finally awaken to who you really are. Until now, you've lived believing you were the character, the name, the ID, the story, the mask you wore so well. It became your face. But the character only performs on the stage of the conscious mind. The scenes are directed by the hidden script of the subconscious, and the only one who can truly change it all is the silent actor behind the mask, the divine spark. The ego doesn't create, it repeats. The subconscious doesn't judge, it executes. But the spark, it remembers. And when it awakens, the character bows, the script dissolves, and reality shifts form. The Kybalion says, "The lips of wisdom are closed, except to the ears of understanding." You're not hearing this by accident. This is a calling, a reminder from the All, that your divine spark is ready to return to the director's seat. If this message lit something inside you, like this video and subscribe. You're showing the algorithm and the universe that you're ready to receive more truths like this. And if you're ready to bring this awakening into practical reality, with the Hermetic laws as your compass, there's a key waiting for you. The ebook, The Key to Prosperity, is not a list of positive affirmations. It's a tool for symbolic, vibrational, and conscious reprogramming, based on Hermetic principles. It's for those who've realized that changing the outside without transforming the mind is just makeup on the character. The link is in the pinned comment. But be warned, this ebook is not for those still asleep. It's for those ready to remember and consciously choose a new role. Now declare it to the field. Comment below, "I am not the character." This affirmation seals the message within you and activates the symbol in your energy. And if you want to dive even deeper into this awakening, watch next. You've been programmed to forget who you are, the Hermetic truth about consciousness. It adds essential layers to what you've uncovered here today. I'll meet you in the next portal of consciousness.